So I want to share when I would come and we had this old refrigerator at the garage, the original garage. I would come and the milking or the filling station was over in that.
In the milk house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you and I would you would kneel all the way down and you'd basically tap the
straight out of the bulk tank.
Yeah. We'd tap it and I'd be running it back and forth into my old Dodge Neon. And it's like, I come in here and just see I know this isn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
But just my mindset.
No dogs allowed. Get out of here, Mason. Yeah.
And what I remember versus this is so different.
Yeah,
so.
It's nicer. It's big, tall ceilings. It's all good. This is the small room. That's a milk filling, the jug filling machine. You take the jug, and there's a little holding tank with a valve, and put the jug in there, and it presses up on the valve, fills it, and then the capper is here. You press it over, and the cap presses the cap down on the jug. It's pretty cool. So I got my labeling state. I just wanted to show you how we fill the jugs in here. So I don't fill on Wednesday, so I don't have any milk for you. Sorry. Now in here. I got the,
hello.
This is Lisa. These are the federal agents, Lisa. The federal agents here to make sure that you're doing everything just right. No, because that's what federal agents look like. No, they're not. They're here. They're doing they're filming a podcast.
We're ruining your clean floor.
Lisa's a good sport. This is, so Lisa is making yogurt. That's a 30-gallon vat. We do 30 gallons of yogurt at a time in that vat. And she's batch pasteurizing it. You heat it up to 145 degrees for 30 minutes. Okay. All right. That's the regulation. This is my 100-gallon vat, where you would do the same thing, but it's a lot more. My second bulk tank. That's the cream separator. We're going to be making butter and sour cream, maybe even ice cream if I get an inkling to.
I've always complained that you didn't sell just straight cream.
Yeah, that'll happen. Grass-fed cream.
Yes.
There's something for that.
For coffee, I would put half of my container would be cream.
Yeah. And then this fella over here is my yogurt filling machine. I'm still doing construction around here, but the yogurt tubs get nested in here and it gets filled and goes around, and
so
it's all automated.
You mentioned with yogurt, so you sell raw milk, okay, but you pasteurize the yogurt. Can you explain why that would be necessary?
You have to. Okay, so you have to in Pennsylvania, you have to pasteurize the milk to make yogurt. Okay. You can't sell raw yogurt. You can't sell raw cream, sour cream, ice cream, butter. No raw butter. No raw anything except for fluid milk. And cheese, if it's aged over 60 days. So that's it. There's two things you can sell raw in Pennsylvania. Everything else has to get pasteurized.
Is there, how do you feel, is that pretty standard and is that reasonable? What would be the benefit between if you had raw yogurt versus pasteurized yogurt? Is there that much of a difference, or what would you see as?
I wouldn't, even if I were able to sell raw yogurt, I think I wouldn't. And here's why. When you pasteurize the yogurt, you then add the yogurt culture, and you get a really consistent result.
What's a yogurt culture?
Well, I get like 6 different bacteria that make a fermentation profile that leads to the flavor and the texture that we like. It's proprietary, man. Actually, it's written on the label. So you basically are leveling the playing field so that the yogurt cultures dominate
over any potential pathogenic.
Not even just any non-pathogenic bacteria. So you get a thicker yogurt too. So when you can make raw yogurt. It's that you're going to get a different batch time after time, right. And it tends to be thinner, a thinner yogurt. So if you like a thick yogurt, you want to pasteurize it.
I think that's the biggest thing, actually, even with your yogurt versus something that would be store-bought. One, we usually don't get the vanilla yogurt. We just get the plain one. Mm-hmm. And people will come to our house, they'll have yogurt, and it's much more sour than if you would get like a normal yogurt. And not that it's like horribly sour, but just to me it tastes like more real versus if you go to the grocery store and you're buying yogurt from the grocery store that's like Chobani flavored with blueberries, and it tastes like ice cream then. I always think that's the difference with your yogurt versus commercially processed yogurt.
We don't put anything else in it either. It's just milk and culture.
Okay.
A lot of these other commercial yogurts, they'll put in something else to stabilize it, a gum, or maybe tapioca even, or there's something else in it to hold it all together because it's kind of like thin.
Right.
And but ours is you're just getting milk and culture. That's it.
Right.
Unless you have the vanilla yogurt.
Yeah, and the vanilla one is really good.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask this because when I was in Iceland this year, they did there's like every corner in Iceland has a skier bar.
Yeah.
And I was always, I was thinking like, I wonder why, what's the difference between skier and yogurt?
You know what? I never made skier. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know. We keep our process really simple, really, really simple.